During the mid-1970s, unemployment insurance faced the severest test of its history. Unemployment had risen to record levels. Congress decided to expand unemployment insurance coverage to workers never before protected. It also increased the number of weeks of benefits an unemployed worker could receive. The strategy worked. Dollars were pumped back into the economy. Temporary changes in the unemployment insurance program had helped offset further economic decline. That was yesterday. Let's take a look at how today's modern unemployment insurance program works. This is my town. Population, 200 million, and still growing. It's got a good name, too. It's called the United States of America. I'm pretty fond of my town. It's not perfect, but we're working on it. It's a great place to live and a great place to work. One of the things that make it a great place to work is we have the protection of unemployment insurance. Not too many people know all they need to know about unemployment insurance. Only the other day, a friend of mine asked me.
Oh, why do we need unemployment insurance in a great town like this?
Elementary question? Not by a long shot. It opens the gate to the whole ball game. Dollars to pay bills, to buy food and other needed items. That's how unemployment insurance helps the temporarily unemployed worker. But it doesn't stop there. Those dollars paid out to unemployed workers become a vital force. They strengthen our whole economic fabric. They're not lazy dollars hanging around somewhere waiting to be used. They're fast-moving dollars. Maybe the hardest working dollars in town. They keep up this town's purchasing power, even when there are fewer jobs. And that's what our town needs to stay healthy. For instance, when that Riverside plant had to cut back on its workforce, John Brooks found himself without a job. It shook him up quite a bit. But he's settled down now. He's living on a tight budget, but he's making it with the help of unemployment insurance. I've just been talking about you, John. Any luck?
Well, they're hiring at the West Side plant. I think I'll give it a try. Boy, I tell you, looking for work is the hardest work I've ever had to do.
Good luck, John.
Thanks.
John's a good man. He'll find that job. His unemployment insurance check won't make him rich. Brings in less than half of what he gets when he's working. But it will take some of the pressure off while he's looking for work. John is one of several million individuals who are out of work each year through no fault of their own, and who are helped by the unemployment insurance program. But it benefits a lot more people than the unemployed. Men like Fred Carter over there. Fred Carter is an employer. He meets one of the largest payrolls in town. Isn't that right, Fred?
Right. You'll find mixed feelings among businessmen about the unemployment insurance program. Some are all for it. Others aren't too enthusiastic about it. Now, the main reason, of course, is it's mainly the employers who pay the bills. Nobody gets too happy about paying taxes.
Fred, a lot of folks think unemployment insurance comes right out of the worker's paycheck.
Oh, no. It doesn't work that way. I think in 3 states, both employers and workers share the costs. In all others, it's taxes on employers that pay the benefits. The program has helped our plant. Now, you take Henry Arnold. He's one of our top machinists. Henry started with us 15 years ago as a helper. Now he has his own helpers. If we had a temporary layoff at the plant, unemployment insurance would help him ride it out. We wouldn't lose a man we've got 15 years invested in. If it was a permanent layoff, he'd have some time to protect his livelihood. And he wouldn't be forced right away into accepting a job at lower skill with lower pay. Hey, why don't you take a shot?
All right, Fred.
You know, unemployment insurance helps in hiring new men, too. It's one of the additional benefits we can offer when we're recruiting new workers.
A side pocket, Fred.
Just think of this. There are about 4 million employers like Fred in our town who protect their workers with unemployment insurance. Almost all employers recognize the importance of this particular tax. Fred knows its value to his own workers. He also knows the importance of purchasing power to the total economic structure. If the economy is strong, chances are Fred's business is strong. The ability to produce and distribute goods and services is what makes our town the giant that it is. Ever wonder what happens to that unemployment insurance check?
You don't have to wonder long. I can tell you. We cash a lot of them around here. Those checks are cashed fast and spent fast. They go for meat and potato items. Nobody gets rich on unemployment insurance. The money goes for bread and shoes and work shirts. I'll tell you something. When one of our local plants shuts down, if it weren't for unemployment insurance, our business would really suffer. So would most of the other businesses in town. One apple?
I can only eat one at a time. Some people call unemployment insurance an economic stabilizer. Now, to get an idea what that means, think of the salaries paid to millions of workers each week. Then if unemployment slows down the flow of dollars, spending power is lost to our town. Well, unemployment insurance dollars, several billion of them a year, help to take up the slack, puts back some of that lost spending power. You might not know it, but when jobs really get scarce, the number of benefit checks a man can get is increased. It gives him some extra time to find a job. It all adds up to a way of keeping unemployment from spreading and dollars in circulation. That's why they call unemployment insurance an economic stabilizer. Like that kite up there. It's got its own stabilizer. That raggedy tail helps keep its head up. Hello, Jimmy. Having a little trouble? This tail is too short. You know, things have to work together to get off the ground. Unemployment insurance knew that a long time ago. The states knew they couldn't do it alone. And the federal government needed help, too. So they formed a partnership. And it's been pretty smooth sailing ever since. The role of the federal government is to set the broad ground rules. The states play the major role in operating the program. Each state passes its own laws and regulations for running an unemployment insurance program for their workers. What you end up with is cooperation. And also you end up with an unemployment insurance program in each state which is different. Differences in the amount of weekly benefits, the number of checks a worker can get, and what it takes to qualify. And yet, they're alike too. The states work together as a team. More than 2,000 officers out there, and each does the best job it possibly can. Frank Barton manages our unemployment insurance program here in town. He's a state employee.
Those folks there will get their first unemployment insurance checks faster if we do it that way. Yeah. Call me back on this before the end of the day. All right. So you want to know what we do here? Well, unemployment insurance has been around for a long time. It's based on federal legislation passed in 1935. All of the individual states set up programs shortly afterwards. It pays a weekly benefit to qualified workers who are temporarily unemployed. Helps out while they look for another job. You know this already? Well, there's more. It helps out in finding that job, too. Job counseling, skill training, referral to jobs.
Well, how well does it work, Frank?
Darned well. It helps most workers. It could be better if payments were higher. Prices have gone up a lot faster than payments, but we're working on that. Some jobs are still unprotected. That ought to change. But basically, it's a solid program, doing the job that it was meant to do. Some people still don't know about their right to unemployment insurance. We do all we can to inform the public, but we miss some. Others think of unemployment insurance in terms of public charity. They don't want to have anything to do with it.
That's wrong.
This is a working man's program. You have to earn your right to benefits. If you're not a part of the workforce, you don't get unemployment insurance benefits. If you are a part of the workforce and meet other state requirements, then you have a right to benefits, and you ought to take advantage of that right.
It's a system that works. Federal and state governments working together the way they're supposed to in our town's kind of government. Paying people benefits, insurance, as a matter of right rather than a matter of need, gives you a good feeling.
Say, mister, you got a problem? You want to talk about it?
Why, no, I was,
Well, listen, mister. If you want to talk to yourself, go right ahead. Don't let anybody stop you, see?
I wasn't talking to myself. I was,
Well, it's a free country, isn't it? That's what I always say. Just do your own thing. Don't let anybody tell you different, okay?
This just isn't my day. Well, what have we learned so far? Unemployment insurance gives purchasing power to the worker when he's out of a job. Most jobs have this protection. Gives an unemployed worker legroom to look for a job doing the kind of work he's trained to do. He's not forced to take any job at any wage just to have some kind of a salary come in. Helps employers hold on to trained workers when a layoff's only temporary. Puts those hard-working dollars into the town's economy and keeps unemployment from snowballing. One other thing, it helps keep up a man's self-respect. Empty pockets can get a man down. I think I need another apple. Neighbors, if you lose your job, and I hope that day never comes, remember the first thing to do is check with your state unemployment insurance office. Maybe I'll see you there.
Say, you still around? Looking for a job? Don't worry about it. Something will turn up.
Well, thank you. Thank you.